It's just you have to make your own model, like a hybrid model, that where you need the human capital, where you need the software to be placed, and how you are going to automate your things. So with automation, you can add value to your business by going to a market in a very peaceful way, also to increase the productivity. And as the lot of ideas are coming in the market and people are working on it, so it's previously it was something that all the time the corporate was something they were focusing on the ideas and access and on these areas. But I guess nowadays because of the automation, every business has that opportunity to grow and scale. And it's recently we have seen a lot of examples in a business growing just because of automation.
Thank you, sir. My next question is for Misbah Ali. Ma'am, what are some of the key areas that can benefit from automation, digital transformation? Which key areas would you identify within the business? Sir, give us a very generic overview.
All right. So, business automation is actually serving the startups and SMEs in multiple ways, and there are different departments that can, get benefit from the business automation. If you are asking for the key areas, so that would be like different departments that are actually getting benefit from this business automation model. So to summarize and to actually begin talking about it, digital automation is actually to automate the processes and the workflows and using different technology tools. So when we talk about the key areas, even HR, the finance department, the daily workflow and the processes, all of these areas can be automated using the business automation, and there are like the different benefits that they can earn from that. Getting into the detail of one of the examples, if we talk about the HR automation, how it can actually help that area grow and get the benefit from the business automation is currently HR has to find the relevant candidates and then interview them, onboard them, quite a long task, right? But how business automation helps is they automate the whole process. Identify the right candidates, reach out to them, and automating the whole process of reaching out to them, even if they're selected or not. The main concern, people are facing in this specifically of human resource department, they're getting quality information that they are, putting delays in not responding back. So all those concerns and those negative feedbacks can be turned into positive ones if they are adopting the business automation model. So this is one example for that.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Pertinent points made. And since you mentioned HR, my next question is for Madam Nilofar Gardezi. Ma'am, can you please elaborate how can business automation, like automation, digital transformation within the business, practically impact HR policies in the future?
So I would dig into a detail a bit into it. I would just say that right from when you post a job ad for a position and while you're using SuccessFactors or running a medium for that. So right from that point where you post a job ad and you start getting the resumes, it starts from the filtering of resumes, right? So selecting the right candidate, right job, the right skill set, right qualification, and from the right area of expertise, from the relevant experience industry and corporate, it just starts from there. From filtering down the resume to the job analysis, to the job descriptions, to subsequent hiring through the interview processes. I mean, it all can be automated and it all is because the HR is digitized nowadays. So when we talk about more over the recruitment for HR digitization, I will talk about OD, like organizational development and the recent influx of automation and digitization and organizational development. Because when we are developing career development plans and individual development plans for certain sort of individuals, while you're hiring them, you have to have a career paths, clearly stated and defined for them. you do automate those processes too, so automatically when one employee serves for a period of a year, right from their performance management system, performance appraisal to their future progress, to the trainings that they will be taking during the tenure of the year.
Ma'am, we'll talk about those a little more in detail, but before we move into it, one of the biggest challenges that a lot of the SMEs nowadays face, a lot of the startups as well, is that there is a resistance to change, especially at the mid-career senior leadership level. So when you try and introduce, these management information systems, HRMIS, to let's say banks or newer companies, fintech solutions, we've often heard that there's a lot of resistance. Employees don't like change, they don't like reporting, they don't like accountability. What do you have to say about that?
This is a very important factor. See, organizations have to come at par with the moving dynamics of the economy and coming at par with the HR operationalization that's going on all over the world. We in Pakistan are moving towards automation a bit, we are lagging a bit far behind. When you talk about change in the organization, and change is the only thing that's constant, but it is the only thing that's very difficult to implement in an organization. So it's a step-by-step process. Organizations are hesitant to implement certain sort of changes, and employees are reluctant to get themselves to accountable for their certain reactions, and that's the reason we are defining KPIs now. We are defining key performance indicators. We are defining responsibility grids. We are defining performance management systems. When we talk about implementing change in an organization, it starts from the management. So when we talk about automation, we should definitely talk about a flat hierarchical system rather than, a hierarchy which an employee is supposed to knock many doors before he reaches to the right level. So there should be an open door policy for the employees. Employees should be given enough trust that they trust that you are doing everything for their benefit. See, I as an HR head of an organization, and I have my own company as well, it becomes difficult for us to implement certain sort of changes because certain, not right from a year to approximately 3 years, we do take certain steps in moderation with calculated risk to implement in an organization. And once the entire system is formalized as a form of success factor, as you say, many corporate joints are using it in Pakistan. It has just automated your entire performance appraisal and onboarding and recruitment process overall. But as you rightly identify, that change for employees is the most difficult thing, and their resistance. So employees have to be taken into confidence while you are implementing any sort of change in an organization, and you have to make them believe that it's for their welfare by the end of the day.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Next question. And mind you, they say when the moderator starts writing things down, that's when the difficult questions start. So, Mr. Obaid, Arshad, my next question is for you. Madam Nilofar mentioned one of the potential risks and challenges. What are some of the other potential risks and challenges of automating certain business processes, and how can they be mitigated?
So I guess the challenges in this area is that if you are planning it in a very right way, and if you strategize it in a way that you know what you want to achieve and what's the output of that area. So this is something which is very important. But if we have seen a lot of companies, they do not plan the automation process and the complete project in a very well-mannered way. So it eventually becomes a disaster. And there's one more thing. Essentially, this is one of the biggest problems I have seen in the industry of Pakistan. Sometimes people build the narrative that if the automation is coming, humans are being eliminated. So this is not the case, because what we have seen globally is that technology and the automation is for the people and it's with the people. So it's just that if you are having a very much of a repetitive work and which does not require a certain skill set or a little bit skill set, so you business need to automate that process. So the biggest risk is the planning and the implementation, and we do not evaluate such processes. So that's something which is our biggest risk. And if you want to mitigate this thing, so you must need to understand what you're going to automate, what are your business processes, and who is going to do it. You cannot rely on the vendors all the time, or you cannot rely on the product. It's something what is the requirement, how they are going to meet it, and there is a certain process, the complete life cycle of the automation.
So there needs to be an indigenous in-house solution. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm not saying in-house solution. It can be in-house solution, but it's expensive. So if you are having a solution outside of the company, the person who is planning it, you cannot rely on the vendor to understand automatically your in-house processes, your need. So this is the biggest gap why automation gets failed in this Pakistani market, especially because the business things that they are the product, they know what is the requirement. And actually it is a gray area. They do not understand.
Right. So sir, let's move on to another gray area. Who should be leading this change? Should it be the CHRO? Should it be the CIO? Should it be the CEO, the COO?
Okay.
Since you said you know the right person
Yes.
is needed.
So I guess this is a very good question, because when you are in the
I said I'm writing it down. Please go on. No, sir. Carry on.
So,
I'm an actor.
okay. So I guess if you have that mindset that you want to be on the track of the digital transformation, so you need to evolve your organization. What typically people does, they think like it's a networking thing and our IT team can handle it. And it's not the way, because if you want to grow further for your organization, so you need to change your hierarchy. You need to have that certain skill set and experience resources like CIO, maybe it can be CIO, CTO, CXO, or what matter is, or it can be the pack of multiple people. So I guess when you are in a track, so if you need to have that output, first organization need to understand and change it from their internal area.
Right. Thank you, sir. Really enjoyed listening to your opinion. Madam Misbah Ali, do you have something different to add to the same point in terms of risks and challenges?
Yes, I want to add something here. The challenge that I see here is that when you implement an automation process or an automation model, you have to introduce new technology to the team, to the company, or to the overall corporate sector. So, there are certain trainings and there are certain, skills that required for that. And, for that, the earlier point that we discussed, that there is resistance to learn. They think that they might lose their job, or things will be automated in the workforce where it be less, required for the solution and for the day-to-day work of the company.
Also, it's extra work.
Yeah, it's extra work. So, training the employees with the right mindset and with the right tools is the challenge that we actually face. And the other thing that comes when technology is introduced is security. So that is the other challenge, the risk when it comes to business automation. That okay, how are we going to secure the data? How are we going to secure the workflows that we're actually implementing and adding to the current business models? So these two other things are also included when we discuss the challenges and the risks linked to the business automation model.
Right. Some very pertinent points made indeed. Ma'am, building up on this, I would love to learn a little more about what Vastmesh does. How are you linked to the topic at hand? If you could please sort of give us the use case scenario, because you seem to be talking a lot from practical experience.
Yes, actually the thing is, I'm from the marketing department, I'm a CMO here, so marketing is almost automated, like from macro to micro level, right? All the marketing aspects have so many automation tools for the mainstream social media that we say, to lead nurturing, lead generation, and all that outbound and inbound marketing techniques, right? If we utilize one use case of our own model, we we do not have to do the research we're mentally now. ChatGPT is a very good example.
Absolutely, ChatGPT. For those of you who haven't heard about it, please go and look up ChatGPT today.
Yes, it was actually considered a threat in the start. Okay, now as we were talking about the risks and the challenges, it was also it was seen as a risk that it might take out the jobs of the writers, of the marketers, of the coders itself. But that AI model is actually helping the human beings. It cannot replace them. So this is where the automation has helped us reduce the effort that we were actually putting in the research side. So first we had to go through like tons of articles or tons of information before actually concluding to one thing. These AI
powered tools.
bots, you can say chatbots. It is actually a chatbot when it comes to marketing. So it has actually helped us to reduce what we want. Okay, gives you the outline, the way forward, and then you have to do the rest of the work yourself. You cannot totally depend on these things. The human is going to stay there forever. You cannot, eliminate human factor from the arena ever. That is what I say. And
I think those words are very encouraging to hear.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing those. Right, moving on. Ms. Nilofar Gardezi, we did speak about automation and digital transformation affecting the workplace and the culture. How can it enable an organization to gain a competitive edge in terms of their productivity of the employees and scalability of the venture?
See, that was a very relevant question. So, employees, as you know, are the biggest stakeholders of an organization. When you choose the right employees for the right job, right, this is a very important thing. And reducing the human risk factor in an organization is a major dilemma right now. And me and my organization, we are currently looking at the ways human risk factor can be minimized through automated processes when we are hiring employees through pre-employment background screening checks. So when we talk about how automation can aid into the HR processes, I think right from recruitment and selection to bracket keeping, because we are in the process of digitization and getting into the paperless environment. I think with the boom of automation and artificial intelligence, many jobs in HR will be redundant because the processes will be streamlined by the AI. You get to know about
So what happens to your job like 10 years from now?
I would be thinking of consultancy in HR. I really like HR and psychology, so I would think that. But still the emotional phenomenon when we talk about it, it's important. When you talk about HR, artificial intelligence cannot readily take over HR because emotions are involved in there. When you talk about grievance handling, I don't think so. I would be able to do that. When we talk about performance management system and the soft skills, I don't think so. I would be able to handle that. So HR managers and the HR CHRs should be there, but when we talk about the benefits of AI and automation and while being the CHR of an organization, I would say right from implementing a paperless environment to streamlining the process of own hiring and firing case. And then to OD compensation and benefits will be streamlined.
Right. So it's interesting you mentioned compensation and benefits because one of the biggest challenges these days is employee retention. The churn rate is very high. How can, in this world of the day and age of automation, digital transformation, etc., how can we enable the workforce, number one, to become more future ready? And how can you enable organizations to exceed the employee retention rate that they have?
See, that's a very precise and accurate question to be asked. The major challenge we face nowadays in an organization is retention of employees. And I think employees will be rightly retained when you are investing when they know that the company is invested in their careers, when they are well aware that the company is invested in their individual development plans, when they're very well aware that the company is taking care of them, when the company provides them a feasible work environment, free of harassment, free of when the employers are measured by the task they complete rather than the hours they spend at work. I think employees feel more, they find a certain sort of loyalty towards an organization. When employees feel that employers not only take care of them but their families as well, when we talk about comp and ben, the better facilities that you provide for their families, for their spouse, for their children, for their parents, alongside flexible work hours, alongside the measurement of their task and evaluating them on the basis of the task completed rather than calculating it from 9 to 5, making proper learning and development plans for them, succession planning lined up. They should have a clear career development plan in front of them the moment they join. They should know where they stand after 5 years in this organization. I think all these factors, apart from AI, constitute an important integral part of retention of employees in an organization.
Right. Well, I think all three of our panelists should be advising the government officials on how to retain and increase productivity of all the civil servants. On a lighter note. So, now, Madam Nilofar did mention some very pertinent points, but I want to ask you from a practical aspect as well. One of the things that was mentioned was increasing the productivity of the employees, and also in terms of the career development and growth. How important is that, and what are some of these skills, in your opinion, being the CEO of Ginkgo, that you feel employees or maybe mid-career professionals in particular need to acquire to make themselves more future ready?
Okay, so I guess it varies according to the company to company. Recently I was studying an article with the name of Global Talent Crunch. So the biggest gap in the market is that certain jobs are being vanished from the market and new areas are there, and these resources are short, and the outcome and the profitability of such areas is on a very high side. Especially when it comes to the freelancing thing, we are the fourth largest globally. So this is something, I guess, we also face this type of issue, that if we have some employees, and it's very difficult to retain themselves because their salaries are hiking up on a very tasteful way. So this is something which is the biggest challenge. So what we have done is with the help of the building culture and providing them with something different from the market, like initiate certain sort of profit and all this stuff. So because this is something the employee retention, it's based on few parameters.
Equity in the company.
Not equity, profit.
Okay.
Profit. So this is something, as we are the company having revenue totally from the local market, but as you are getting a lot of work from outside of Pakistan, so that's a very big issue for us to retain employees.
Thank you. So can everyone hear properly in the audience? Okay, brilliant. Then this experiment was correct, having the moderator stand at the podium and then having the speaker sit there. Right, moving on, Misbah Ali. Now, we spoke about some of the best practices. If you could also maybe illustrate a couple of success stories that you've seen in your experience, where businesses have implemented automation, digital transformation, and that has sort of led to increased productivity and employee satisfaction.
Yeah. So the business automation, as I told you, is not limited to only one department. Similarly, it is not limited to one sector. It is not only about technology companies, or it is not really related to HR companies. The example of a case study that amazed me was a Walmart. That it is basically a retail company, and they also used the business automation model to improve their output and productivity. And what turned out was that the prices and the cost that they were actually charging for one product was like $58 initially, and after adopting this model, their cost increased to like $80. So because of the increase in the customer and the clientele, due to the improved productivity. So when companies big like Walmart can do that and still improve their output. So companies like SMEs and startups, they are having bigger leverage to get benefit from that.
Ma'am, one of the arguments, sorry to cut you there, but one of the arguments that SMEs and startups put forward is that we lack the infrastructure, maybe the capital, to invest into, perhaps very expensive solutions.
Yes.
What would you say to that?
There is, in today's world, there is not one option available for a solution, right? There are 10 million options available for one particular, case study or scenario. So we have to just find the most suitable one, and that is the other challenge that comes in when it is actually towards the implementation side. That will be sorted when only the government or the private they can actually support this private sector or the startups, so that they can actually cater the cost and the budget limitations, because that is something that is actually faced when it comes to bigger projects. When it's smaller projects to begin with, automation should opt it. It's not like we don't have tools. They can automate the workflows, the processes, the data processes to improve the quality of the work and productivity. So the limited amount of employees that they have initially are utilized for more productive purposes that cannot be handled by most tools. This is how they can actually start experimenting, at least in the start.
Absolutely. I'll come to you, Nilofar. Sir, Madam mentioned very interesting points about the government, the involvement that the government, the role that the government can play. On an ending note, what are some of your policy recommendations?
So I guess as this is a very new domain, I guess the government need to involve when they need to. There's a need of regulation and the reforms, and they need to help, just not to only incubate. They need to help the startups, and as we have seen this thing in Malaysia, they give a certain credit line to the SMEs, so they can grow, so they can be big companies as well. And essentially, we have also seen this thing in Saudi as well. The government is funding the SMEs, and they are identifying the area in which they are not able to grow. So I think government need to take certain initiative that why the SMEs, what are the challenges, and if they want them to grow, so they need to play a vital role for the growth of the private sector.
Right. Thank you so much, sir, for those pertinent comments. If you could please pass on the mic to Madam Nilofar. Right. So, Madam Nilofar, I know you're probably going to think that I'm asking you some of the hardest questions, but I had to make this very impartial. Upon an ending note, so as the MD for consultancy, what would be your advice for these three stakeholders? Number one, current employees. Number two, business owners. Number three, the government. So, one piece of advice with each.
Okay, so nice question. As an ending note, I would, in the current economic scenario that we are facing right now, hands on with a lot of challenges coming our way this year and the next. So for the current employees, my advice would be to stick to the current job without any ifs and buts. And minimally, I would also state that, being an HR head and being in the profession for quite some time, I would definitely recommend that job hoppers should become this, now should seriously consider staying with one job, because there is not a perfect job, there's not a perfect environment, there's never a perfect scenario. So, considering the current economic situation, the employer should either focus on developing their skills or by themselves as well, even if the organization doesn't, or should focus and stay and stick to their current jobs, at least for a period of a year or two. For the owners of businesses and for the business owners and for the CEOs of the company, my advice, if they can afford it. For the government, I would definitely recommend some certain important rules and regulations when we talk about workplace harassment and safety of women at the workplace. That's a budding issue nowadays. We have been working towards this cause with many NGOs and whole, but it's high time when the government should take good notice of it, that even speaking loudly to an employer is a form of harassment now. It's a form of psychological harassment when we are going through so much on regular basis in our daily lives. So this is pretty much about it.
Right. Very pertinent point made, especially in this day and age of social media, where access to information is so readily available. Definitely just hitting the nail on the coffin. Thank you so much, esteemed panelists, for joining us.